Hi there, I'm Nicole Philippone, autistic advocate and author. Welcome to my channel. For those who are new here, in my videos I talk all about autism, SPD, and related conditions. But more than just focusing on spreading awareness, I try really hard to talk about common neurodivergent challenges and then share strategies and solutions for those challenges. So I really hope you find my content not just valuable, but also practical in terms of what you can do with the information I share here. And if this isn't your first time on my channel, thank you for being here. I appreciate you so very much. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about how to pursue an autism evaluation. I know how intimidating and confusing the process can feel because I went through it myself recently, as both a parent of a now diagnosed child and a now diagnosed adult. So today I'm going to walk you through my step-by-step guidelines for pursuing an evaluation, which I hope makes the process easier for you to navigate. So stick with me as I break it down. Now, there are 3 high-level steps you want to take before scheduling a preliminary appointment with a practitioner and initiating an evaluation with them. Note that most of what I share will apply to ADHD evaluations as well, though the criteria will, of course, be different. So, step 1. Know and understand the autism criteria as outlined in the most current version of the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, also known as the DSM. This is the most widely used resource by mental health practitioners to diagnose mental and neurodevelopmental conditions. Note that when I say it's the most widely used resource, I'm mainly referring to within the United States, though it is often used in other countries as well. Also note that it is important to make sure you are reading the most current DSM criteria, as it is an ever-evolving manual. As of the creation of this video, the most current version is the DSM-5-TR, which was released in March of 2022. For those curious, the TR stands for Text Revision. If you're interested in the full criteria as outlined, I created a resource with this information. There's a link to it in the description box below. Step 2. Write a thorough and exhaustive list of every symptom you can think of that applies to you or your child based on the criteria outlined in the DSM. Give several examples of each if you can. Try and include examples that may not be observable by others, as masking does often make autism symptoms more difficult for others to observe. Also, be sure to give examples from childhood, as one of the DSM criteria for an ASD diagnosis is that symptoms must have been present in the early developmental period of life, though there is a notation in the DSM that symptoms may not necessarily become fully manifest until social demands exceed the limited capacities of an autistic individual, and another notation which states that symptoms may be masked by learned strategies later in life. I created a worksheet to help with this step as it can be one of the more involved and complex ones. There's a link to that in the description box below. Step 3. Research practitioners before scheduling a preliminary appointment with one. Start by asking for recommendations. If you know someone who has had a positive experience with a practitioner, that's a really great place to start. For example, I had a really positive experience with Dr. Natalie Engelbrecht at Embrace Autism. Her website is also chock full of amazing resources that helped me gain quite a bit of insight into autism before I started my evaluation process with her. And if you haven't been given any recommendations, research practitioners online and look for clues that indicate their philosophies, practices, and overall approach when it comes to diagnosing autism. You want to find someone who is current in their knowledge of the DSM criteria for autism. You also want to find someone who has knowledge of the less obvious signs of autism, as practitioners with more outdated knowledge are often less aware of those, and to this day, this gap in knowledge still leads to misdiagnoses or missed diagnoses, especially in young girls and women. To learn about a practitioner before engaging with them, you can usually start by looking at their website, but if they have active social media accounts, you might find information about their philosophies and practices there as well. Once you've gathered some information about a practitioner, you can call and ask to have an initial conversation with them before scheduling an assessment. Make sure you're prepared with questions, plus red flags to look out for during this initial conversation. I've created a resource to help prepare you for this conversation, which you can find in the description box below. But here are some examples of what you can look out for during this conversation. The autism evaluation process should be thorough and include a combination of screening questionnaires and an in-depth, real-time conversation. If the entire process is a 30-minute phone or video consult, this is definitely a red flag. If the practitioner indicates that they believe autism is overdiagnosed, this is also a red flag. And if you feel invalidated or prematurely dismissed during this introductory call, there's no need to continue the conversation. Simply thank them for their time, end the call, and continue your search for a more knowledgeable and appropriate practitioner. I know how frustrating it can be to have invalidating conversations with practitioners, but there are good practitioners out there. You just need to find them. Okay, I know that was a lot, so let me circle back and summarize. Before initiating an evaluation process with a practitioner, read through the DSM-5-TR diagnostic criteria for autism. Write down as many examples as possible of symptoms and characteristics that apply to you or your child. Be as exhaustive as possible. There is no such thing as a list that is too long. Research practitioners and make sure they are current in their knowledge and understanding of autism. Okay, so that's it for this video. If you found it informative and want to see more content like it, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Make sure you click the notification bell so you're notified when I post my next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!